So one of the neat things that we have being on the Trent Severn Waterway and traveling through the Trent Severn Waterway, especially at the locks, we see a lot of American-based boats, people doing the loop, the Great Loop. We call them loopers. And these folks are just such an example. They come all the way from St. Augustine, Florida, in that DeFever trawler, diesel-powered, which is kind of stinky, but whatever, they're living their own dream. Now, for those of you who are unaware of the Great Loop, it is a circumnavigation of the east coast of North America, and these folks starting in Florida, they would have come up the east coast, popped in at New York City, come up the Hudson River, and either went through the Erie Canal to Oswego, New York, which is on the south side of Lake Ontario, and then they could have just come right through to Trenton, Ontario, and up the Trent Severn Waterway, which we're part of. Or they could have gone up through Lake Champlain and up to Montreal, and then down the St. Lawrence River to Trenton, and then up. Whatever route they took, it's awesome, and it is approximately 6,000 miles depending on the route that you go. Most people take a year or more to do it, and that would be definitely a bucket list thing for me to do. So let's just watch them go through the lock. The Great Loop, look it up, America's Great Loop. Alright. So from this point, these folks and anybody else doing the loop will go to Georgian Bay. They're going to carry on through the Trent Severn Waterway. After this, there's only 3 more locks to get to Georgian Bay. They'll go through Georgian Bay onto Lake Michigan, down to Chicago, and then from Chicago they will find their way over to the Mississippi River and then south, and at just before the Gulf of Mexico they can either carry on straight through to New Orleans and onto the Gulf of Mexico, or they can cut across at somewhere and come out in Alabama. Top of my head, I can't remember what it is, but then they will come out in Alabama on the Gulf side, very close to the Florida border, and then they can either go down the peninsula of Florida on the Gulf, go around the Keys, Key West, up the Keys, and then they're back in Florida, right to wherever they started. Or they can cross Florida about midway through and come out at Stewart, which is on the east coast between Daytona Beach and Fort Lauderdale, if I'm not mistaken. And they will go across Lake Okeechobee, if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, look it up. It would be an awesome trip for anybody. And could you imagine if I did that trip, how many great, fantastic, adventurous videos I would have to share? Anyways, the things you see on the Trent Severn Waterway, you should be here. Cheers. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe so you don't miss any of the new videos coming out. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Daily updates there, and always lively conversation on Facebook, so you don't want to miss it. And you can also follow us at boatsbeachesandbars.com, where you can find even more links to all sorts of neat things, including our online store. And you'll find all the links to everything mentioned up here, down there in the description, so you'll have no excuse not to follow along. Thanks again, and we'll see you soon.